in space.
All right, last thought for you guys, and it kind of ties it back to what we talk about on Today in Space, and like what living life in space is going to be like. And this is two things that I thought were really, really interesting that I hope the future provides for us in space. Everyone who seemed competent at all could fly and pilot a spaceship. They could fix a spaceship. Like there was never, I know it's obviously the writing and it's not real, but I like to think that's a good way to go for the future. Like they could do things. They were self-sustaining in space, and it was like if we try to do it now, if we tried to fly a spaceship, nearly impossible.
We would.
But
if it was the three of us trying to fly a ship, we're not going anywhere.
Before, not happening. But if like we can get to a point where like, yeah, you know what? Just like getting your driver's license, it's like, oh, you're going to learn how to pilot a spaceship. Like I want that to be a future that we get to eventually. Not everyone has to, but that's really cool. I like that idea of traveling through space in that way, where it's like anyone can just figure it out and get out there and do it.
You know, you should look up sometime. I think it was the History Channel did a special. I don't know if it was a series or if it's just like an hour long or whatever, of the realism of Star Wars and like what in the franchise. And again, this was before the new ones. It was like,
right.
I was going to say it might have been coming out because of, you know, like whatever the other ones, the middle ones. But they go in depth of what in the movies is accurate, what is inaccurate, and what is actually possible / on the way to being part of our reality. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's History Channel. You should look it up on like YouTube and see if it's on there.
That's cool. I would like that.
I watched it and I loved it. Unfortunately, I think I remember them saying that like lightsabers not a possibility.
Yeah, no.
Because to encapsulate whatever that material would be would shatter upon use, but encapsulating whatever it is that is inside, again, in Star Wars, it's like it's a crystal, but obviously in real life it would be something else. You could encapsulate it in a bullet type, in a bullet shape, and use it as one of the laser blasters. Yeah. It's totally possible.
Hot take, I guarantee before we die, someone will make a lightsaber, only because there are so many crazy fans devoted to making a lightsaber.
I'm not saying this isn't possible.
No, I mean,
I'm just saying
someone will make one.
I don't think it's going to be ready for combat.
Actually, we're going to get lasers coming out of that.
Yeah, all right.
Speaking of lightsabers, and that's actually, it could combine this next point. We got to get as well.
Very cool.
So, one of the cool things that I was thinking about the Jedi that I never even considered, like they build their own lightsabers.
That's part of their training.
That's part of their training.
Like a flea market.
Is technological. Like part of their training is being having aptitude for engineering. Like obviously at this point, like it's the future and they can use crystals and harness power. But still, like
but that's also
I
why
love that.
Kylo Ren's isn't refined. That's why it's that very harsh.
And actually why it comes out the side, too.
Yeah, because it's not...
Otherwise it would blow up or something.
I was going to say, it has something to do with the crystal, and it not being... It's, like, artificially made, or it's somehow modified.
It's,
in order to be read.
On StarWars.com. It's something like, it's like, I don't know.
And because he never completed his training, he was never able to, like, fancy up the lightsaber.
So he's just a hack.
He's just a dumb hack.
So I think what the Star Wars thing is funny. I think the StarWars.com was saying something about, I keep saying that. I don't know why I keep saying that. It's not like we're affiliated or anything like that.
Not yet.
No, it's not going to happen. I swear way too much in these shows. So anyways, I think it was like a crystal that was, like you said, not refined, but it was like, it fits his character well, where it's like this, it just bursts out energy. It's not stable,
right?
So that's why it has to have those exhaust ports on the side, and it's actually based off of some like ancient Jedi design from like the early days. Because if it was just a regular laser, it would just a regular beam. It wouldn't be able to hold it.
I always thought they're just like little stabby things.
So I guess what the website says is that they're actually exhausts.
Interesting.
Yeah, because otherwise there's so much power coming out of it that it has to exhaust out the sides.
No, that makes sense, but I always just thought it was like, oh, well, at first we brought you Darth Maul with his double-ended lightsaber, and now we bring you Kylo Ren with his kind of cross-like looking one.
I'm sure there was a little of that.
To be fair, they totally made this first, and then they said, all right, how do we explain this?
Well,
They came up with this first,
Well,
and then
and
it's
it's
a classic.
It's a
the
claymore.
design,
It's a claymore. It's a long sword.
I'm gonna say this with pretty confident confidence that the crystal theory and the part of it being the Jedi training is not new. That's been like a thing.
No, that's how cool.
But maybe the design came first.
Yeah.
But like the crystal,
the design's cool.
The crystal thing, I've known about for a while, like before this was a thing. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah.
But yeah, no, I didn't know those were exhausts.
Going back at it, it's I love Star Wars. I love iconically what it does for people. Like, people get so much out of Star Wars, and I wish Disney luck. I want them to succeed. I want them to have good movies coming out. I don't want Star Wars to die. Obviously, I'm going to make fun of it when they don't do something I like.
Interested about the Han story with the whole like
Solo will be interesting. I hope it's as good or better than Rogue One.
It should be better. Didn't they have to fire their director and then rehire a new one?
Well, yeah, we'll see what happens. That's never a good sign for a movie.
No, but
another podcast.
That's for another day.
So yeah, let's end it there, guys.
Thank you
very much for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Nerdy and awesome.
This was nerdy.
Of course.
I love it.
Thank you guys. As more I do the show, I am embracing my nerd even more. So thank you very much. Thank you for listening and watching. As always, you can catch us all our stuff todayinspace.net. You can watch us on our YouTube channel. You can watch us on pretty much every podcast player that you can find. Spread love, spread science, be good to people, and we'll be back soon.